And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Bienvenidos a los gran finales. Para los gran finales de el HSL. Oh my god, it's been insane. It's been incredible to see these players face off throughout the entirety of the month of April, of March, of April as well. It's been an intense period here in StarCraft for the Hispanic scene, for the Hispanic region, for Latin or for Spanish speaking countries. And now we've made it. We've made it here to the grand finals. We have our top two players. And in the bottom left hand corner, en la esquina izquierda, derecha. Yo, remember the Spanish intros? We have the Mexican Terran player, the yellow Terran, el mismo himself. It is SpeCial. El mismísimo, papi. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from Atlanta, Spain. It is VortiX. Poderoso, papi. Let's go. Let us go. I remember doing Spanish intros with Dastan so many years ago. It was a time in StarCraft. I miss me, Dastan. I miss him. But here we go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Not a best of 3, not a best of 1. Best of 5s are here already. Best of luck in the chats as we do jump in. So far we do have a low ground setup. I assumed it was going to be 2-racked Reaper, but no, it's going to be Reaper. It's going to be racks into Factory. Hold up, what's going on? Juanito SpeCial, he is being spicy right now. Oh my god, the jalapeno is out and we are setting up a proxy across the map. We have a racks into Factory into proxy starport. Very cheeky, very cheeky here from SpeCial, and we'll see if he can get away with it as he's setting up for what looks to be a proxy drop. Proxy starport into medevac drop across the map. Meanwhile, VortiX is going for his own hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of our Zerg player. VortiX, he will scout, he will confirm the wall off here. He does get eyes on the Factory, but he does not know what else is on the map. He has no idea. Oh boy. Oh, cross. For now, though, again, our eyes are on this SCV. The Factory is about to finish, and there's no CC. The Overlord will confirm. No command center. That's a big scout here for the Overlord. Hellions are on the way. Late CC. Something is wrong. Something is amiss. Something doesn't quite add up. Again, that's a CC after the Factory. Meanwhile, there we go. Proxy starport across the map, as I did mention. Now, is this for a medevac to drop into the main base, or is this for proxy Banshee? Where does this lead? How does this all piece together? Meanwhile, Reapers, they do dip into the main. They dip into the main base. They do rush past the Queen. Trading with the Lings. Getting to the mineral line. No major damage yet, but just trading with Lings. Oh. Oh, God. As he does pull away, Hellion into the mineral line. Up. Go for the drones. Gets a volley up. Up. Just the one. Gonna be shut down. Yeah, Hellion is shut down. Double Reaper here into the main as well. No major damage yet, but we're just keeping our opponent busy here, and it's going to be proxy, not medevac, but proxy liberator. Okay, now this does make a little bit more sense. So we have Libs going to be rallied into the main base. Likewise, SpeCial still being active here with his Reaper Hellions, still making more Hellions behind this, reacting them out 2 at a time. Link speed does kick in. VortiX going to try and chase him down. Going to try to, but alas, the terrain here working against VortiX. He wants that Hellion, he wants him, but so much damage being done already, so much free damage. Very nice control here from Juanito, from SpeCial, as he will force back those Lings. And we're going for... Oh, this is what I was concerned by. I wasn't sure how this was all going to come together. This is proxy BC. So, Liberator first into Battlecruiser. Oh boy. That's SpeCial. Not like this. Not the BCs, papi. Not the BCs. Not like this. As it does poke in. Queen, so far they maintain themselves. They do zone away the army, but the question becomes, are we ready for what comes next? Liberator into the main base. This should be a bit of a tell. So many drones going to be going down. 4, 5 worker kills. Insane damage in the main. Likewise, SpeCial pushing in towards the low ground. Distracting his opponent, distracting VortiX, keeping the Queens busy while the BC is underway. While the Battlecruiser gets underway. It does rush past those Queens. The Lings, they try to keep up. They're coming for this round. Not a bad catch here from VortiX. Takes out 1, takes out 2 Hellions, but the Hellions, they just keep rallying in. Oh, and we just droned. Yeah, VortiX, he just droned up. Yeah, a little bit too greedy here from VortiX. as he has not enough wings. We bust into the mineral line. Drone's gonna get roasted. Liberator popping up. The BC isn't even here yet, and already everything's on fire. Everything is burning down. We'll bring down one of the queens. Drone, no, they line up. The drones line up. 15 drone kills. Ay. They all stacked on the one patch. And now we have a spiral in the way. GG gets called before the BC arrives, and SpeCial will take a lead in the series 1-0 in style. GG. GG, well played. And again, we didn't even get to see SpeCial's final form. He was still building up towards that battle cruiser. It was a very chaotic and very crazy game there at a SpeCial. VortiX, he was denied getting into his own build, getting into his own style. Ay. GG. GG, well played. As I believe we are going to be alternating. Yeah, we're going to be alternating between regions here. Switching and hopping back and forth. Between Europa and the Americas. Let's go. So we are switching back and forth. Meanwhile, SpeCial to start off with a win, but remember, this is best of five, and again, VortiX, he just wasn't allowed to get into his own game, into his own mid-game. What will happen, though, if he can get there, right? That's what I want to see. As a fan, that's what I want to see, that's what I want to embrace. I want to be able to get into this kind of back and forth mid-game. I want to see if VortiX has what it takes to keep up with SpeCial and even tear him apart if he gets into a standard game. That's the thing. SpeCial, he's a very cheeky player. SpeCial, he has a lot of builds, a lot of unorthodox playstyles, mech, proxies, 1 base all-ins, 2 base all-ins. Like, SpeCial is very diverse when it comes to his play, and that is one of SpeCial's greatest strengths, of course, is that diverse play. So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. That's something that does come into play here. Oh boy, we'll see. We'll see if VortiX can keep up. Sorry, I just realized, I just looked out and I looked up, and you know what I saw? The sun was rising. Fun fact, we were casting when the sun was setting, and then we are casting when the sun is rising, baby. Let's go, let's go. Of course, just started casting yesterday with the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and now it is, what, 6 a.m. in the morning. It's been almost 12 hours. Almost. We're getting there. Jesus. Ay. It's been 10 hours, right? Yeah, it's been 10 hours so far. Getting up to 12. Oh. Meanwhile, the lobby has been made. We're jumping in. We are jumping into game number 2. And I'm hoping for a back and forth, but a lot of this I feel like is going to come down to the builds of SpeCial. What does he bring to the table? Where are we headed? Where we're dropping back? Where we dropping? Game 2 is going to be an Ultra Love. Ultra Love is going to be a smaller map compared to ley lines. Smaller maps typically do favor Terran players, especially aggressive Terrans that do want to hit their timings, even when it comes to standard builds and standard openers. So this is where I am a little bit more concerned for VortiX. Where VortiX can get more comfortable is larger maps. Amygdala, Frostline, Abyssal Reef. Those are the maps that I do think on. Let's go. Can we make it to 12 hours? Can we go all the way? As we are setting up that lobby. Also, I feel like I didn't get to mention it much here today, but a big shout out to all those working behind the scenes, the other Spanish casters, the admins as well. Shout out to the Novak, Enki, of course, Sitaska, Bond Gaming, Protocito. They've all put in a lot of hard work into this event, into the overlays, into the organization of the group stage. I mean, that would have been the hardest part, the group stage, and getting all the players to play their matches. There were some walkovers, of course, but organizing, what, 40 players, it was a big task, a big endeavor, not easy to really approach. And from my understanding, and of course, before I get ahead of myself, this was of course all crowdfunded. It was all crowdfunded by the community, by the Spanish-speaking community. They all came together to make this event a reality. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And we might even see a second season. Now, I do know that there were a couple of like road bumps, speed bumps in the group stage that they do want to iron out 100%. But yeah, if this becomes a regular thing, like it's definitely a great way to bring the Hispanic community together on a more regular basis. Look forward to it. Look forward to it. Exciting times. Your hair looks great. It's so long. Like it doesn't look long right now because I have curly hair, so like my hair is like more tight knit, right? But like I need to have a haircut soon. I need to cut my hair, but here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner. Oh. In the top right hand corner here of Ultra Love, we have our Spanish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, down in the series. We'll see if he bounces back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. I look forward to it. I hope so. It is VortiX. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Terran player from Leno, Mexico, representing himself. Apparently he will coach you. It is Juanito SpeCial, leading the series 1-0 with a very cheeky build in game 1. Very spicy, very habanero. As for now, we are going to be opening up with a pool first. So pool first opener here by VortiX. A little bit more of an aggressive start. With this, he can go for an earlier gas into an earlier Roach Warren, or this could just be a safety opener to try to wreak some havoc early on. Now, the problem with this is that this is a 2x Reaper build out of SpeCial. Of course, Juanito, he was the inventor of this build. It was at DreamHack Atlanta at the end of 2023 or 2022. I think it was at the end of 2022 where Maru and Beyond did see SpeCial doing this, and then they took it themselves and they refined it themselves, and they were able to make it their own and turn it into what the meta was in 2023, coming into 2024 as well, with like the non-stop 2x Reaper builds, which Beyond did refine and perfect over time. But SpeCial, he was the originator. He was the originator here, and we spoke about the early pool. And we spoke about the potential for early roaches. There it is. Early roach one has been thrown down. VortiX, it's his turn to be the aggressor. It's his turn to set the scene here and to dictate the pace of the game. It's going to be up to SpeCial to respond. But again, it's already 2x Reaper, so this is a really weird dynamic. Initially, these lings shouldn't get much done. Remember, there's no ling speed. The gas is being preserved for roaches, so these lings are quite slow. They're not very mobile. I can definitely see SpeCial just shutting this down real fast and real quick. The wall is up. The wall is solid. The lings, they do not delay the CC, and the Reapers, they should be behind the mineral line, and they should shut this down. On top of that, he scouts. He confirms, he sees everything. SpeCial, he's fully aware of the roach rush. SpeCial, he is aware. He scouts. He knows, and he should be getting ready back at home. Factory should be on the horizon. There we go. The SCV's in position for said factory. Lings, they're poking at the depots, but again, the Reapers should be more than enough, and they should never get surrounded. No, with slow lings. As Reapers, they move out, they did pick off a couple of lings. Lings did fall. Roaches, they keep rallying across the map. SpeCial keeping up. Again, delaying the push, chipping away at these roaches, forcing out the Ravagers. SpeCial, he already has his bunker. Again, factory's on the way. That'll be for his tank or for his Cyclone. Ideally, Cyclone to hunt down the Overlord to deny high ground vision. Speaking of, Depot's under fire. Depot is under fire. Ooh. Is going to go down at the same time. Reapers, they get across the map. They get, what, 3 drone kills already? Ay, ay, ay. And they do at least get the supply depot. They might be able to get another. But more damage is required here. SpeCial, he does have the better economy, has a higher worker count. Mining is being denied for the time being. Oh, but SpeCial is not done. Goes back to the main, gets another drone, gets one. Gets one more worker. Now getting a second. Now getting a third. And now getting... this is getting out of hand. This is being far too much. 4 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. 4 workers go down. Someone stop this man. Stop fighting. Zerg players, look away. That's going to be 5 drone kills. Now 3 SPs do go down across the map, which is nice. But now we're getting up to 6. 6 workers go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, getting up to 7. Reapers, finally they do fall, but they have more than paid for themselves. And now he breaks out. The Cyclones, the Marines, they take down all the Ravagers, they shut down the initial Overlord as well. SpeCial, he now takes map control away from VortiX. And VortiX is stuck on 2 bases. He's stuck on 2 bases. He's stuck with a subpar economy. He's now going for a Bailey nest. And the best option at this point, after losing so many drones, might just be a 2-base all-in. Might just be a 2-base all-in from here. Trying to macro out of this when you're this far behind, it's not going to be easy. 3rd CC is already on the way for SpeCial. Yeah, Lings are amassing. Ling speed is on the way. It looks like a Bane bust. Otherwise, there's no reason to get a Bane nest this early on. Here we go. Is there an easy way to tell the difference between small and large maps? I mean, there's a couple of different ways. Oh, as the overload does fall. I mean, you can look up rush distance, like the time it takes to get from end to end. On top of that, you can count bases. Smaller maps have less expansions, so I mean that's a big part. Outside of measuring the map yourself, of course, which would not be an easy way. But recognizing the rush distance by ground is, yeah, one of the easier ways to do it, which you can look up ahead of time or gauge yourself. But the amount of bases, meanwhile, Bane Bust does come in, the wall gets brought down, no bunker! Bailey connects, Bailey does connect, but alas, there's still so many Marines left over, the boys can be pulled, Lings, they get on top of the Marines, so far a lot of the bio is going to be falling, not bad. Cyclones, they race back home. Ooh, one Bailey does connect, and it looks like, do we break the natural? There's still 2 Cyclones. With that SpeCial, he holds. He does hold, he does deflect, he does deny. More Bailings on the way. The Bane Bust continues. Again, VortiX is completely all in. Comes in for the surround. Hot pick up there at a SpeCial. Saves the Cyclone. Saves 1, saves 2. Barely saves the Cyclones. And we're running out of steam. VortiX, he's running out of steam, running out of units here. Still flooding across the map. The Cyclones are very low on HP. Get 1! There's 1 left! 1 Cyclone! The medevac does abandon it. Yeah, the Cyclone goes down, and have we done it? You can see SpeCial trying to wall off. Micring his heart out. The Baneling is waddling in, but no, it will not connect. But the wall is not a wall. Boys are being pulled. Marine goes down, gets surrounded. Again, no pick-up micro there at a SpeCial. And VortiX. I mean, he was up against the wall. Things were looking dire. Things are still dire, by the way. Fun fact, after all that damage, SpeCial still has a better economy. He has a higher worker count. He has mules on top of that. He has a better economy compared to VortiX. It's crazy. It's wild. VortiX, it's still not enough. He still needs more. Where are the Banelings? He attempts to surround. Nice stutter stepping here at a SpeCial. Does stutter step away. Banelings are all in. Once again, they knock down that front door. They break through the depots, but that's all they get. And that is still not enough. SpeCial, he is somewhat running out of Marines, but nah, they can hold their own. They can hold their own. They have stim. More Lings flooding. VortiX, he's not done. He's not done. But there's a wall. No. He didn't hear no bell, Pappy. Can he force a friendly fire? Oh my god. Not quite. Wall is back up. Banelings are waddling in. He needs more Banelings. Let's go. Oh! Oh my god, that's so many Marines though. Nice target firing. He gets 1. He gets 2. He does shut down 2 Banelings. He gets 3. 3 Banelings do fall. Banelings get waddle in, and they do connect. Oh, 1 Baneling connects towards the end. Still a couple more Banelings left over. The wall crumbles. But not enough Banelings. The Marines, they can just hold their ground. Yeah, they can just stim. They can just stim and win, baby. They can stim. They can win. Lings on their own, they pose no threat. Not in this low numbers. Meanwhile, VortiX is still just flooding. He's still just massing up more banelings, more lanes. Now, he has been able to get some damage over time. Thankfully for VortiX, there's no factory production. There's no Hellions. Hellions would be amazing right now. There's no Hellions. There's no Widowmines. Speaking of, we do have some units in production here. With it being Mass Marine, it's very flimsy, very fragile. One baneling can be all it takes to bring down this army. VortiX, he does bypass the Marines. Once again, knocking down that front door. Takes down the depots, headed into the mineral line. Oh, the boys, they pull away. Just one baneling left. Just one baneling remaining. That's not enough. Yeah, much stronger defense here from SpeCial. And as the game goes on, it's just getting better and better. GG gets called. Juanito, he snowballs out of control. And SpeCial, he defends. He survives. He takes game number 2 and extends his lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. SpeCial, he does survive. Again, really nice scouting out of SpeCial. As a reminder, he did initially confirm the initial Roach Rush. The Roach Rush was lackluster. SpeCial, he was in a better position. He didn't quite scout the Bane bust, but he was able to react in time. And again, the Banelings, the Ling Bane just barely wasn't enough. It was close though. It was very close. I was very impressed when VortiX was able to shut down both the Cyclones, when we saw some miss micro out of SpeCial where he wasn't able to save his units, he wasn't able to juggle in time. But regardless, he was still able to weather the storm. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are heading on over to the European region. Again, we're switching back and forth between EU and NA. We're getting ready for game 3. Let's go. Let's go. But yes, we did speak on this earlier, but yes, VortiX, he did retire from StarCraft a long time ago, but he did return for the HSL, just like SpeCial returned for the HSL. Like, a lot of players did make their returns for the HSL. It's great to see so much interest from the players, even those that retired or took a break from the game. Great to see them coming back to us. Beautiful. It's been exciting, and of course we're here in the grand finals, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. So far we haven't been able to sink our teeth into any kind of macro, into any kind of mid game. Game 1, for those that weren't here, SpeCial did cheese. SpeCial, he cheesed the hell out of VortiX. Game 2, vice versa. You know, SpeCial, VortiX, he tried to turn the tables on SpeCial. So we've seen aggression from both players, and now we're loading into Game 3. Game 3, of course, being Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold, of course, being the smallest map in the current ladder map pool. This is the rush map, so we expect more aggression here in Game 3. We don't expect less, we expect more. And it's just going to keep on going. We go. Lack of baneling speed is rough here. Well, this was all hatch based. Like, there was no lair, right? Like, there was no lair, so there was no access to baneling speed. It was just a hatch based all in really early on. It's all or nothing. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. Potentially the final game of the series. Again, I'm hoping for something greater. I'm hoping for specifically I want to see the mid game. For those that weren't here for the group stage, VortiX, he was going Ling Bane Muta during the group stage against all the Terran opponents, and it was really exciting to see. A very old school style, a style that's rarely if ever really seen anymore in ZVT, and he was having a lot of success with it. He had a lot of really solid Muta control as well. But we just haven't been able to embrace that mid game yet, and I want to get there, Papi. I want to get there. We'll see if we can. For the fans, Papi, for the fans. Listo. Suerte. GLHF. Vámonos. Again, we're loading into game 3, potentially the final game of the series. Again, I hope not. Raise up your hands. Give your energy here to VortiX. Send him your energy. Send him your paella. And if you know any other Spanish dishes, let us know, because that's all when I think of Spanish dishes, that's all I got. That's I'm sure there's more. Like, from Spain, from Spain. What else do we got? Oh, gazpacho. Oh, that's, I thought that was Italian. Okay, I didn't know that. Widely eaten in Spain and Portugal. There you go. Gazpacho, papi. What else we got? Croquetas. Ah, that's more generic. What else? Getting hungry. Tapas, true. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game here. We're going to be getting into... Oh, we're loading into game number 3 here. The pressure is on our Zerg player as spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Going for a 12. I'm like, I want to see the mid-game. I want to see some Ling Bane Mira. Nah, baby, no, never mind. In the bottom right-hand corner of Wizards of Gold, we have the Spanish Zerg player, the Red Zerg. He's going for a 12-11. Not going for exactly a 12 pool. This is a different variation. We have VortiX. So 12 pull into an earlier gas geyser, very aggressive here out of our Zerg player. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran. The Mexican Terran player himself. It is Juanito leading the series 2-0. We'll see if he can close it out with a clean sweep. It is SpeCial. Here we go. As we are jumping in, so far SpeCial going for the low ground racks once again. Every game so far he's gone for this low ground setup, and it does keep you safe against these early pool timings because you do have a wall so early. It also protects your CC. It does mean that the command center is later than usual. That is true. It is going to be a more delayed expansion, but we do enjoy an earlier wall off here. It's going to be racks into factory, not 2 racks Reaper. And here we go. Lings are moving out. As a reminder, because the early gases, link speed is being researched very early on. No banelings, but fast link speed. So VortiX going for a link flood. He will move out and he will run into a wall. I'm not too convinced that this is going to work out here, just because of how SpeCial plays this matchup, just because he always sets up the wall in the low ground first. He always does prioritize that wall. Yep, does lift. The Lings, they're chipping away at the depot. This is buying time for the Reaper. As we can see, SpeCial, yep, he does repair. Reaper has arrived. Link speed is halfway done, and the Reaper should not get surrounded. Another boy arrives here to repair. And Marine is in production. I'm a little bit concerned about lack of production on the factory, because that will delay the Hellion. So Hellion is delayed. There we go, another SCV moving down. Link speed still not quite done. There we go, we now have production here on that factory. Nice kiting here from SpeCial. He takes out how many links so far? 4 links have fallen. Link speed is almost done. It's all or nothing. Like VortiX is all in. He's not droning. He's not droning at all. He's got 12 drones. That's all he has. CC is on the way for SpeCial. This is maybe best case scenario for VortiX. SpeCial, he's got an add-on on the way, which means only 2 Marines. Yeah, link speed is revealed. Massive scout. Or massive moment here. He sees link speed. Oh my god. Add-ons are denied. Reaper somehow slips away. The Hellions in production, and this Hellion will completely shut this down. Like, Hellions are exactly what SpeCial needs right now. And I'm concerned that the VortiX won't ever be able to break this. Like, without Banelings, how do you break this? How do you break through this? Sure, he denies add-ons, that's great and all, but that's what we're getting. So add-ons are being denied time and time again. Hellion is out. Ooh, supply block though. That should not have happened. Supply block here for SpeCial, but only for a couple of seconds. Bailey Nest now on the way. This is a late Bailey Nest from VortiX. If he had stayed in gas, he could have gotten this. I'll be honest, I assumed he was going to stay in gas. But at the same time, he wasn't familiar with SpeCial and didn't know there was going to be a wall off. So delayed Bailey bust here from VortiX has potential, but it is hitting quite late. Oh. Doll sip in. Okay. Finds an opening. Surrounds the Marines. Nice catch. Yeah, Marines go down. Hellions, he gets surrounded. SpeCial caught with his pants down. Yeah, the buildings were up. The pants were down. And SpeCial, he has nothing. He has nothing to do. He has no units. He has, what, one Hellion. That's all he has. One Hellion. And with that, it looks like we have a series. We have a series. We don't even need the Bailings as Lings that collapse into the mineral line. Nice worker drilling here from SpeCial. Whole position mic goes up, but the Hellion should fall. Nice micro here does save the Hellion, does pick up, but the Hellion still falls. It still goes down. GG gets called, and VortiX will make a series out of this. He puts a point on the board. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Whew, GG. Again, SpeCial just at the wrong moment. He raised all of his buildings. He had no production. We didn't even need to see a Bane bust because the door was open. The door was wide open. He just let him in. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We have a back and forth. We are heading back on over to the America server. And the series continues. Beautiful, Pappy, beautiful. Now, if the wall had never risen, I was concerned that it never would be broken. I was concerned that the speedlings would never be able to break through a Hellion behind the wall, that Banelings would be too late, and by the time a break was attempted, a bust was attempted, we'd have more Hellions and more bio, and SpeCial would just hold. And I believe that would be the case. What I wasn't expecting, what I'm sure even VortiX wasn't expecting, is for SpeCial to raise everything, to just lift everything, to open the floodgates. And VortiX did flood in. He flooded in, baby. Oh. Let's go. And the question becomes, as we get into this, is this the beginning of the comeback? Can we make it all the way to the ace match, pappy? Let's go. More importantly, at least for myself, do we get to see some mid-game? That's all I want to see, pappy. That's all I want to see. Just some mid-game, some macro, a little bit of macro. Maybe a little bit of micro as well. We'll see. We'll see. Just catching up with the chat. We go. VortiX went from pretty much lost game to winning it. I mean, that's StarCraft for you. You know, one small misstep, one small mistake, and bam. It can be over. It can be over then and there. Especially around VortiX. Can't slip up like that. And, ooh, we have some larger maps. We have some larger maps available here. So, I was curious what the vetoes were. And it looks like we have 2 maps remaining. And I want to say that I do favor VortiX on these last 2 maps. What do we have left? King's Cove and Neo-Violet Square. Neo-Violet Square is the largest map in the map pool. King's Cove is the 3rd largest map in the map pool. And I mentioned before that larger maps do typically favor Zerg players because it does delay the aggression of the Terran. It does delay their 1-1 timings, their stim timings, their tank pushes. Everything is more delayed, which means the Zerg player has more time to prepare for those pushes, and they'll be able to have more breathing room, more creep spread as well. In general, they're able to get into the mid game in a more comfortable position, assuming we get to that point. Though I'm like, oh, these timings hit later, true, but at the same time we've been hyper aggressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if especially even proxies on King's Cove. We'll see what the plan is, but I want to be hopeful here that we can, you know, get into a 3-base and 4-base setup on King's Cove. We'll see. Personally, I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to SpeCial. It comes down to his build. He has been very aggressive himself. It hasn't just been VortiX, it's been the both of them. The both of them, it's been just hyper cheese, hyper aggression, hyper just play here so far. So we'll see where this leads us. So players are ready, and we are jumping into game number 4. It's gonna be on King's Cove. And again, if we get to the ace match, it'll be on Neo-Violet Square. Here we go. God. They're memeing in the chat. Okay. Well, looks like we're waiting for some of our casters. All good. Looks like some of them got lost on the way from Europe. They'll get here. It's all good. What is gazpacho? Apparently it's like cold tomato soup, right? I've never had it before. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Spaniard cuisine. One day we'll go. But apparently we're missing one of the casters. Ah, there we go, we got him. We got him, Bappy, we got him. Oh, we don't got him. We don't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I do apologize for the delay, but again, we were just waiting for all the casters to arrive from the European region. Again, we're switching back and forth between Europa and Americas for each of these games. We're jumping in. Here we go. Loading into King's Cove. Also, what I will say, I don't know if you noticed, but I have hit my second wind. I have hit it. I'll be honest, for the majority of this cast, I was like dying. But at least, you know, just in time, I mean, I would have appreciated it in the semifinals at least, but just now with the finals, we have hit our stride, and here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner. And at the top left-hand corner here of King's Cove, we do have our Mexican Terran player, the blue Terran, leading the series at 2-1. We'll see if he can close that here and now, as he is still one game away from claiming the win and becoming our HSL Season 1 champion. It is SpeCial. Juanito, papi, Juanito. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zurich player himself from the land of Spain, fighting back, putting a point on the board. Can he bring it all the way? Can he bring it home? It is VortiX. Not Jaime Arturo Duran Silencio. Not quite. Yo, I miss me Jaime. Hold on, I know he's Duran as well, right? His last name. Is that Juan Arturo? Juan Moreno Duran. There you go. Let's go. I didn't know Duran was such a common last name. Coincidence? StarCraft? Maybe not. For now though, what do we see? Standard opener. What do we see? Not on the low ground. We see on the high ground, ranks expand. Standard opener out of Juanito. Oh my, didn't know he was capable to open in a standard way. It's crazy. Let's go. On the high ground. Likewise, Hatchcat's pull out of VortiX. I said this before, but welcome to King's Cove, one of the largest maps in the map pool. Long rush distance by ground, defendable bases, and because that we often see longer and later games. This finals has been hyper aggressive. We have not been able to embrace a 3-base economy at all in this series. Not yet. Until now. I'm hoping that now we enter the larger maps, we do get some longer games. Now, when it comes to some of the features here, outside of how large it is and how long the rush is, the natural and the third base are very defendable. What I'm getting at here is that we have a ramp. We have a very narrow ramp coming into the natural base, which is very easy to wall off coming into the mid game, so you can focus your defenses at the third base location instead, which also has a ramp. Likewise, in between your natural and your third base, there is this alleyway that is cut off from the rest of the map, so you're very safe and secure when it comes to transferring and rotating between your bases. In general here, it is very easy to defend on 3 bases and very difficult to break at a player defending on 3 bases. And this goes both ways. This goes the way for the Terran and for the Zurich. Now, what becomes more difficult, as VortiX is taking his third, is the fourth. The fourth location, whether it's this center 4th base or the linear 4th base, is more exposed. It's more exposed, it's more out in the open, it is more difficult to maintain, and we often see a lot of aggression and a lot of engagements surrounding this 4th base in the mid game. Once the 4th base gets up and running though, that's when you can get a 5th base, a 6th base. That's when we can cut the map in half and embrace a longer and later game. Meanwhile, I was looking forward to some mid game. It's a Bane bust. God damn it. It's a Bane bust out of VortiX. He's massing Lings. He's not droning. He's cutting workers at 23. I wanted to see some more, papi. I wanted to see your mutas. I wanted to see your layer tech. We're going for the bus. At the same time, we do see that SpeCial, he does open up Reaper Hellion. The first Reaper did go down, so SpeCial, he has 0 vision, 0 scouting. He sees nothing in the main base. He sees nothing in the natural. Otherwise, he would be seeing the lack of saturation, or at least the Baneliness. But alas, SpeCial, he's in the dark. He's in the dark. He's going 3 CC Banshee. economic build out of SpeCial. Hellions move out, but the Lings have not been scouted. The Banelings have morphed in, and here comes the Waddle of Death from VortiX. The Hellion does scout though. The surround. The Hellion gets surrounded. Banelings they waddle in towards the main. They're going to knock down that front door. The Deepos do fall. And now we're breaking in. There's still 2 Banelings left. They head into the middle line. 1 Baneling does get in. Another surround. Another brutal surround here. What do we have left? We have 2 Hellions remaining. They cannot be surrounded. Boys are being pulled. Nice defense here from SpeCial so far. But another surround. GG gets called. SpeCial is broken. The Hellions get surrounded. No scouting, no vision. And VortiX does force the ace match. Let's go. Oh my god. GG, well played. VortiX, he does cheese SpeCial out. We're going to game 5. And remember, what is the final map? Neon Violet Square, the largest map in the map pool. But now I can't say with confidence. I would usually be like, yo, the biggest map, Neon Violet Square, we're getting up to 5 bases, let's go. No, based on this series, it's gonna be another cheese. It's gonna at this point it has to be, right? There's no shot that we macro in the final game of the series. At this point it's too late. It's too late for that. We have to commit. It's gonna be like proxy 3 racks out of SpeCial. It's gonna be like 12 pool, or it's gonna be like a 12-11 out of VortiX. It's gonna happen again. God damn. Hold on. It's time to smurge, Bappy. It's time to smurge. The hood is up. It's smurging time. Ah. It's catching up with the chat. Get some coffee? No, I don't need coffee anymore. I did mention that I hit my 2nd win, so like I'm wide awake right now. But it took me all the casts to get here is a problem. Like I do feel really bad because I do think that my casting was a little bit lackluster for the semifinals. I wanted to be a little bit more hyped for it, but I was struggling to maintain consciousness. Unironically, I think there was a moment in the semis where I closed my eyes for like 1 second. And my eyes did not want to open again. Like I was like, okay, okay. It was a bit of a struggle, but at this point I'm good. At this point I'm good for like another 4 hours, man. We can go all night long. We can go all the way, Pappy, all the way. Need some more proxies. SpeCial, he needs a belt, Pappy. He needs to tighten up. Need to tighten up that belt. I mean, I say that. I mean, a lot of it came down to scouting. Because SpeCial lost his first Reaper, that was it, right? That first Reaper is so crucial when it comes to checking, scouting for saturation, scouting for tech as well, scouting for any kind of Ling move outs. Like there's a lot on the shoulders of that first Reaper, and for it to die that early on, it was a rough response. Catching him in the chat. SpeCial is back in SC2. He came back for this tournament. HSL brought back a lot of people. Like you say, yo, Juanito is back. Mate, VortiX is back. VortiX, he has been retired since like 2017, 2016. Like it's been almost 10 years. It's been 9 years since VortiX was like a proper active competitor in StarCraft. Like technically he came back for the Valencia Open bracket just because it was in Spain. It was like next door. So he did play in the open bracket of Valencia for like 2022 or 2021. But like he didn't return from retirement. That was like him playing for fun sort of thing. So and then he's also playing for fun here. Like I should emphasize, this isn't like VortiX's return to competitive play in StarCraft 2. But like he's good friends with a lot of the people here, and he got interested to play again, which is really cool. It's really cool to see that we brought him back, even if it's just for one tournament, to see him once again after so many years. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we do have our Mexican Terran player. Oh, he's yellow this time. God, I have to change the colors and everything. God damn it. Hold on. Suddenly yellow. I think this is close enough. It's a little bit dark. I think maybe this one. I can't see anything. I'll go back to the dark one. Alright, this morning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Violet Square, we have our yellow Terran player. We have our... Oh, actually. We have our yellow Terran player. We have the Mexican Terran being forced into the ace match. He was up 2-0. He was up 2-0. He had a massive lead in this series, but he has since lost that lead. Can he bring it back? Can he bring back that momentum and bring it home? It is SpeCial. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. From the land of Spain, he has returned after a long retirement just for this one moment, just for this one tournament, and he has made it to the ace match. It is crazy. Can we get some mid-game, though? Is what I want to see. It is VortiX. No siesta, only fiesta. I love that. Let us go. As for now, we do have our initial opener here. It is going to be a Hatch Gas Pool standard opener out of VortiX. Meanwhile, we do have a Rax Expand out of SpeCial. So far, everything is looking normal. So far, everything is looking macro-based. And welcome one and all to Neo Violet Square. This is one of the most viewed maps of the map pool. But this map is known for longer macro games. Why is that, you may ask? Well, here, as we settle into a standard game, and assuming that everything looks normal for the near future, we have our natural base. Once again, just like King's Cove, there's a ramp. There's a ramp coming into the natural, so this is a much more secure location to defend, to secure yourself on. The linear base here is also quite defendable, just because you can kind of forget about defending your natural base if you wall off, and you can just focus your defenses at the linear third. You also have a pocket base that you can take as a fourth or a fifth base, and you have this low ground expansion as well, which is a little bit more wide open, but I would say more easy to secure because of how centralized these bases are. This linear third base, this triangular third base, and this natural base are all so close to each other. Rotating between these bases is a lot easier than it is on other maps, so it is more easy to secure yourself. Now, the big problem here in Neo Violet Square is getting a sixth expansion. This goal base here, or the northern base, is a lot more isolated compared to your other base kind of setup. It's more isolated, more spread out, so it is more difficult to defend. Traditionally. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? 1-1-1. So before we can talk about, you know, a sixth base, we're gonna bring it back to 3 bases for now, because we are opening up with a faster starport. This is a hyper-aggressive build out of SpeCial. What is happening? So in a standard game, we'd see a third CC before starport. This is a starport before third CC. Early stim is on the way. Early, potentially, Liberator production, Medevac production. This could be the setup for a Hellbat as well, with an Armory, with a Hellbat push with Medevacs. I'm leaning towards Armory play. We'll see if he does go for that Hellbat push. Meanwhile, back at home, VortiX going for 2-base Lair into 2-base Muta. Now, I love 2-base Muta. I want to see it. I want to see him embrace it, but SpeCial's build here does scream something more aggressive, and I'm concerned that he's going to knock VortiX down before he can embrace any kind of Muta play. Oh, the Hellions, they dive in. Hellions, they rush on past. They do scout some gases, and more importantly, they see everything in the main. They confirm the lair, and they confirm the gases. Now, he doesn't see the Spire yet, as the lair is not done, but this screams 2-base Muta. SpeCial has seen enough to determine that. And you can see he's getting ready for his move out. Hellions are amassing. Stim is on the way. There's that spy that we did mention. Again, like, based on everything that we saw, based on everything that SpeCial saw, it screams Muta play. And SpeCial, he's looking to try to knock him down before Mutas come in, before Mutas are a factor. I would imagine. We're waiting for the Medevac. Then we can move out. Medevac is on the way. Stim is lined up with it. Lings, they do try to harass or keep his opponent busy. But you can see here the Sim City, right? Like, there's a checkpoint here towards the left. There's a ramp here on the right. Run-bys are not a factor. We have a safety Baneling on the way for VortiX. And here comes SpeCial. Now, he's not pushing with Hellbats. There's no Armory, so it's just going to be a stim timing with Hellions, not Hellbats. But regardless, still a terrifying push. Also, I assumed he was moving out with the Marines. My apologies. He's staying back home with the Marines, going for a Hellion drop instead. Now, 4 Hellions, that is enough to one-shot. To one-shot workers, I mean. So if workers line up, then they can get roasted real fast or real quick. As Hellions, they poke in. Lings, they come in for the surround. Oh! Does pull up. VortiX, he defends. He zones SpeCial away. SpeCial, he throws down 2 more Raxes. Do you see what I see? no third command center. This is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in from SpeCial. Now, I don't like the idea of going for a 2-base all-in on Neo Violet Square just because the map is working against you. So SpeCial, he's not just fighting VortiX, he's fighting Neo Violet Square as well, just because of the size of the map, the rush distance by ground, all of that favors the defending player. But this will still hit like a truck. And the biggest problem here, as mutas are revealed, is that mutas, they're not ideal defensively. They're ideal to pick off key units. They can harass, they can contain, they can shut down drops. This is true, but in a head-on fight, they cannot move into these Marines. Like, they cannot touch the Marines, not at all. That's my biggest concern. This is a 2-base all-in, and mutas are not built to defend against this kind of all-in. But there's potential, right? Like, if SpeCial overextends, or if he's caught out of position, he can maybe lose a medevac, lose the tank. That's what VortiX is looking for. He's looking for these key pickoffs. He does rotate around, goes in between the bases. He does see a tank, gets an SCV, does spot the bio. Turrets are in position. Oof. Muta's taking a lot of damage, and especially just ignores it. Yeah, he just ignores the mutas. Gas Geyser goes down. SpeCial doesn't care. He pushes it across the map. And what is at him to defend? There's only a couple of Banelings and no Baneling speed. Remember, Baneling speed is delayed because of the mutas. Like, there was so much gas invested into these mutas, and again, they're not ideal defensively. VortiX trying to mass up his army. Oh. Forces out a stem. Going for the Marines, but last reinforcements have arrived, and VortiX has to respect this. He has to back off. He needs more lings. He has 22 lings in production now. With a large enough ling count, he can surround this and engage and collapse with those banelings. Like, there is potential. But everything has to go right here. Yeah, the queens have to be involved as well. Ooh, tank does siege. Ay, ay, ay. Tank does go down, but the tank blows were brutal. Baneling speed kicks in, but Marines, they hold their ground. And the mass bio army, he stims and he wins. And Marines, they take down the lings, the banelings, the mutas. Man with gun is all you need. As we mentioned, because of this early stim timing here, SpeCial was favored. Like, from the beginning, from the get-go. Because 2-base muta can't do anything against this. And you can see SpeCial just rallying across the map. He goes for a very late third CC. Again, this is basically a 2-base all-in. So late third CC out of SpeCial, but the damage has already been done. It's just going to keep going, going to keep on pushing. And VortiX, he has nothing to defend. He does morph in a couple of banelings, which will help. But he's off a creep. Oh no. Juanito notices. Yeah, he does notice. Nice splits here out of SpeCial. He avoids the banelings. Tanks do go down. But the man with gun, the Marine, does stutter step. Nice focus firing. And he's going for the win. He's going for the kill. He was forced into the ace match. He was forced into game 5. But he will still take it as he goes into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. VortiX trying to make his final stand. And he cannot stand, not against this. GG gets called, and SpeCial will take the series 3-2, becoming the very first Hispanic StarCraft League #2 champion. GG. Whew, GG, well played. It did go the distance, went all the way to the ace match. Not in the way that I expected. It was very cheesy. It was a very, very cheesy finals. Even the final game, I would say, was SpeCial, going for essentially a 2-base all-in, and was able to catch VortiX with his pants down. The pants were down. He was trying to rush into mutas, but going muta blindly. I do like going mutas on Neo Violet Square. It's just unfortunate that he happened to be going up against a very aggressive, very committed build by SpeCial. He had no idea what he was up against. I had no idea that he was, in a way, playing into SpeCial's hands. I'm curious if SpeCial is aware of VortiX's playstyle. I mentioned before that VortiX, if he did get into a longer game, we were expecting mutas out of him, and this felt like a hard counter to something like 2-base muta before SpeCial even scouted it. So GG. So GG, well played. In the end, Juanito SpeCial, he will claim the series, he will claim the tournament, and we'll get the win. And are they hosting an interview? Curious. I am curious here if they're going to host an interview or not. I don't know if they will. Let's double check here. Alright, of course. And hey, exclamation mark, be in the chat, have a look at the Wikipedia page yourself. We can switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Here it is. We had our round of 16, 2 days of StarCraft, 2 days of non-stop action. We had, of course, SpeCial, Ryojin, Eggs, Zions, Mute, Daryl, Tavito, Hunter, Eon, Charlie Cox, VortiX, Black Knight, Acheron, Fair Spitter, Chem, and Bombilla. We had 16 amazing players. As a reminder, this was the playoffs. There was a group stage with 40 players, by the way. There was a massive group stage. If you missed out on the group stage, if you only just now noticed the event and just now tuned into the playoffs, then I do recommend the VODs. YouTube, exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. All the VODs are there. We do upload VODs on a daily basis, and you can catch up on those VODs on YouTube. I do recommend it. There was a lot of fun and amazing matches to be held, and you get to see some more VortiX, some more SpeCial. I'll be honest, VortiX's group may have been my favorite group of the event. It was VortiX versus Asia Terrans versus Draconics versus Neo. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun to see VortiX in the group stage, and yeah, we had some other highlight moments as well, so I do recommend it. Do recommend checking out the group stage if you did miss out on it. And likewise, congratulations to SpeCial for not dropping a single map until the finals, right? It was in those finals where VortiX did pose a threat. I'll be honest, coming into this, I expected Chem to face off against SpeCial instead. Fun fact, Chem hasn't lost a SpeCial since 2023. Chem, he actually had a best of 9 with SpeCial a couple days ago, which Chem did win, and Chem did have a Bass's Big Brain bouts a month ago with SpeCial as well, which Chem also won. Like, Chem has a winning record against SpeCial, so I was looking forward to seeing them have a rematch again to see if SpeCial could actually take a series since 2023, but didn't happen. VortiX stopped him. VortiX, he did stop that kind of that Mexico versus Mexico finals. He stopped that rematch. He stopped that grudge match from happening in a crazy upset. I would call it an upset. I would call it an upset that VortiX took down Chem. And VortiX, he had a good showing in the finals as well. He had a very good showing. Very impressive considering that VortiX has been out of the game for so long as well.
Enhorabuena, SpeCial, por Dios.
Sí, sí, enhorabuena, SpeCial.
No sé si va a haber entrevistas o algo así.
Pues vamos a subir y hablamos con Bonnie Potosito, que
Sí,
vamos a
Okay, it sounds like they're gonna get an interview. It sounds like they're trying to get SpeCial in a call to conduct an interview. Sounds to be the case. Hold on, I'm listening.
Señores, muy buenas a todos. ¿Cómo estáis? ¿Qué tal, Bob? ¿Qué tal, Potosito?
Muy buenas.
Extraordinario lo que vimos.
Estamos viendo
They're just right now. The other casters are discussing amongst themselves. Speaking of the other casters, a big shout out, of course, to all those involved. Shout out to Enki, the Novak, Protosito, Bon Gaming. Shout out to all those involved, alongside Sitaska as well. Again, there were 5 Spanish casters getting involved, and not just covering the event, but also organizing it and also funding it as well. It was their communities that did actually crowdfund this tournament, not us, the Spanish-speaking community, actually. So big shout out to the Spanish-speaking community for bringing together $1,000 USD for this tournament. The passion is real, and again, this might be only the first season. We might get even more of these head to sells in the future. I'm sure I'm sure it's been quite successful. I mean, I know I've been hyped. I've been very excited about this once again. It's been a while since we've seen something like either Latin American or Hispanic speaking centric for a long time. We were a part of La Espida way back when. La Espida, that used to be a collaboration similar to this one, I guess, a collaboration between Demon Swap, Jaime, Enki, alongside Ducklings, alongside a couple of others as well, whom I think of, alongside Otis, where they would all work together and run tournaments, and we used to be the English casters for that as well. But you know, the members that I'm speaking on, they kind of fell by the wayside over time, right? Like Jaime, now he's a variety streamer, very successful, but now he's a variety streamer. You know, Demon Swap, he switched to Diablo. He became more of a Diablo content creator. And also, of course, he's busy working at Twitch in the Latin American sector. Darking, likewise, also busy working elsewhere outside of StarCraft. Busy with his own endeavors, IRL. Yeah, it's just like Enki was the last one that was left, and it's really cool to see, what, 3 years later, that Enki has been able to, I say Enki, that's some of the other Spanish-speaking content creators, not from Latin America, but from Spain, were able to organize this and then bring Enki involved as well, and bring us as well, like the good old days. A little bit different, but I appreciate it. A lot of fun. As back in the day, the Latin American region was thriving, was huge, was even bigger than Europe. To be honest, was the biggest region out there when it came to players, when it came to communities. It was huge. So good to see the support there once again. Meanwhile, just catching up in the chat. Hold on, let's tune in again, see if they're.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Enhorabuena. Bienvenido.
Enhorabuena.
Sorprendido es la palabra, pero bien.
Oh, they're having an interview with VortiX.
Todo el mundo diciendo que hace un jugador de Age of Empires llegando a la final.
Eso digo yo, sí.
He said
Pero llegaste a la final, maravilloso.
they're asking what's an AoE4 player doing in the finals of a StarCraft tournament.
Bien, sorprendido, ya te digo, contra Champ, sinceramente no.
Borti, te quiero hacer una pregunta rápida, Tito. Cuando estaba 0-2 abajo, ¿has visto que el Loli no te salía bien? Y has visto justamente la
VortiX is saying that he was really surprised, especially against Cham. He wasn't expecting it.
Sí, a ver, es que el mayor problema es que yo no conozco las estrategias actuales, ¿no? O sea, yo sigo viviendo en 2014.
Sí, lo hemos visto, sí.
Y no sé, contra esa salida no sabía qué hacer. He probado primero a hacer 16 pull. He visto que llegaba tarde para entrar. Digo, hostia, pues perfecto, con un 12 pull ya sí que llego a tiempo. Y cuando he llegado estaba cerrado igual y digo, coño, no sé qué ha pasado. No sé si lo he visto bien aquí, digo, hostia, qué bueno. Cuando he visto que levantaba la Factory, pues ha sido como, hostia. Además estaba preparando ya Bailings, o sea que, aunque no lo hubiese levantado, igualmente entraba.
Se lo hubiera
pero
reventado,
simplemente
sí,
no ganaba.
claro. Es lo que dijimos también.
Sí, porque te retrasa lo justo. Ya habría algún Elion más, claro.
So they're asking him about the all-ins, and he's saying that because he's so out of the meta, he doesn't know the timings, so he didn't know what to do. Like he was playing like blind basically. Like he was playing by feeling. He didn't know if like a 12 pool or a 16 pool, or he didn't know which pool timings would be able to punish special. He was kind of like guessing because he's not familiar with the meta and he's not familiar with the timings at the moment. So he was kind of like, yeah, he was kind of like feeling it out a little bit.
Con Link Banemuta, mi estilo de 2012.
Sí, old school.
Tío, no te ha dejado la primera.
He's talking about Link
No me ha
Bane
dejado,
Muta.
me ha dejado, o sea, no entendía el V-Lord en ningún momento, no sabía, cuando me llegaba el Liberator, claro, yo no me sé los teaming ni nada, yo no sabía de dónde venía ni nada. Y ha sido
Al acabar la partida te has dejado un momento para ver que te.
So VortiX, he's saying that he had no when it came to the build on ley lines, he had no idea what was going on. Like again, like he didn't know the timings of the Liberator or what it meant. He didn't know the timings of the hell. Like he didn't realize something was wrong. Because again he's out of the meta.
muy bien, mucho micro, se nota. A ver, un jugador que está inactivo en StarCraft, yo creo que es imposible que gane a alguien con tan buen micro, porque es que literalmente lo de la primera partida ha sido, vamos, una matanza. Es que no sabía por dónde salían las units, vamos, he perdido 20 drones.
Pero hablando de micro, tío, estábamos aquí hablando, tío, la primera partida que tenido contra Cham, ese Limbane puro y duro, tío, eso ha sido...
Si la ves, VortiX, solo gritábamos.
Sí,
o sea, no casteábamos, solo era gritos.
Puro grito,
O sea, solo
todo
estábamos
el tiempo.
gritando.
A ver, siendo justos hay que decir que estamos en el servidor europeo y Limbane contra Limbane, teniendo ventaja de ping, pues obviamente me beneficia.
Lo hemos mencionado.
Sí, pero luego Enki ha comentado que Cham es que está jugando en
Europa. Todos los días está jugando actualmente en Europa.
Sí.
Cham.
So they're talking about the ZVZ between himself and Cham,
Pero al final, yo qué sé,
and they're talking about the Link Bane wars that they were having. And VortiX, he's saying he's like they're really excited for VortiX. But he's emphasizing, he's like, oh yeah, but Cham, like he's got high ping, so like it was a little bit, you could tell it a little bit. Like VortiX is giving credit to Cham, saying that like Cham was playing at a disadvantage.
Entonces básicamente tú no pensabas llegar al quinto juego, siendo honestos. O sea, tú dijiste, llegué a la final y
a ver,
que
yo
sea
es
lo
que
que Dios
tengo un
quiera.
problema, y es que ha salido justo el DLC del H4 y encima me dieron acceso temprano hace unas cuantas semanas. Entonces yo he estado 3 semanas sin jugar al StarCraft, literal. Y antes de eso había jugado 50 partidas a lo mejor. Entonces mi idea, es que no tenía una idea. Mi idea era, bueno, vamos haciendo. Según entraba al mapa decía, pues esta misma, venga, como si tuviesen dado.
O sea, casual, o sea, el torneo fue casual
16
entonces, prácticamente.
Sí, bastante. Por eso he dicho al principio que bastante sorprendido, ¿no? Porque
So they're asking VortiX his expectations coming into the finals, and I think Enki was like, "Oh, did you expect to go to the Ace match or anything like that?" And VortiX is saying that apparently there's like a patch, there's like a new like expansional patch for AoE 4 that just came out, and apparently he got early access to it, and he's been playing it for like the past 3 weeks. So he hasn't touched StarCraft at all. So he came in very unprepared. Like he's been grinding AoE 4 a lot because of the early access that he got.
no me dan las manos para este juego, literal.
Ok.
Ah.
Pues menos mal, ¿eh?
Pues menos mal, ¿qué iba a decir? No me dan las manos. No me dan las manos, le gana a todo el
Porque
mundo.
la cabeza...
Se le gana a todo el mundo y no me dan las manos. Ok,
Eso lo he
perfecto.
mencionado yo, por acabar así un poquito, que por ejemplo, la...
He's saying he doesn't have like the hands or the speed to play StarCraft 2 anymore. And they're laughing, they're like, yeah, you made it to the finals anyway. True, true. Too slow, Kappa.
Ha sido pura cabeza, como tú has dicho. O sea, has escondido unos pocos Bainlin mientras metías los perros por el otro lado, tal, y le has pillado completamente a contrapié, que no se lo esperaba. Ha habido un momento, que lo hemos analizado, que había 30 perros tuyos contra 4 marines.
Sí, sí.
¿Vale?
O sea,
Y no sabemos cómo cojones lo ha parado SpeCial, lo ha parado, ¿vale? Pero bueno, que ha
Sí,
sido
o
todo
sea.
mucho jugar de cabeza, de intentar engañar todo el rato, de saber esconder las cosas, que al final tienes una experiencia que no tiene el resto de personas, claro.
Claro.
Sí. Nah, y esa partida
Claro.
en concreto la he pechado mucho porque se me ha olvidado hacer segundo gas y entonces tenía como... Había un momento que tenía 600 de mineral y solo 6 banes.
So they're telling him like they're really impressed because it feels like he had to rely a lot more on his strategies and a little more on his builds, because like he's emphasizing himself that he's not as fast as he used to be. But there was like a lot of like indentation. There was a lot of like a lot of like delicacy when it a lot of intention when it came to his micro, his control, right? That's where he was shining a little bit more.
¿Cómo has visto el torneo?
And what do you have to rely upon?
De cara al futuro, yo ya sé que has dicho que a lo mejor es la última participación que haces un torneo de StarCraft 2, pero ¿qué mejorarías o qué es lo que más te ha gustado, tío?
¿Sí cambiarías algo?
Bueno, como lo he visto, tremendo. Yo creo que habéis hecho todos un curro enorme y enhorabuena porque para ser la primera edición ha sido increíble, ¿eh? Y está muy bien que haya cosas así en el StarCraft 2 hispanohablante, ¿no? Por eso me apunto, porque yo realmente no juego ya al juego, pero digo, coño, para algo interesante que hacen, pues voy a apuntar, ¿no? Así, yo qué sé, todos sumamos, ¿no?
Claro.
¿Qué mejoraría? En general todo muy bien, lo único a lo mejor... Quizás los playoffs, no sé si la gente estará de acuerdo conmigo, pero igual hubiese sido mejor a Voz 5 todo, ¿no? Para que sea menos random y la final Voz 7, pero claro, necesitan más tiempo ya quizá organizarlo.
Sí.
Porque
Por
resulta
la
un
hora
poco
de-
raro que la fase de grupos haya sido Playoff 5, que muchas veces parecían Voz 5, 3-0, y luego
Claro.
Playoffs, Voz 3 hasta la final, ¿no? Quizás lo único, pero vamos, ya os digo que es algo menor y que enhorabuena porque ha sido un torneazo tremendo.
Si me
Todo
permitís,
eso
te doy la razón con...
lo hemos
Habla
hablado.
Bond, habla Bond. Sí, es que lo has dicho tú, habla tú.
They're asking his opinion on the
Nosotros
tournament.
hemos estado diciendo que para la próxima edición, mínimo semifinales veo 5 y final veo 7.
Ujú.
Sé que esta vez no lo hemos hecho por tiempo porque no sabíamos
Claro,
cómo iban a
claro.
responder los
Nos
jugadores.
daba
y
mucho
no-
miedo el tiempo.
Y no
Estamos en el
sabíamos si
aprendizaje.
iba a ser fluido y demás. Entonces dijimos,
They're saying they had to kind of
vamos a
rush
cinco por si
the
acaso, pero
tournament,
visto
which
lo
is
visto,
why
que
best
hay
of threes in
uno
the
se puede
semis,
ir
and for the next time they want to do best of fives in the semis and best of
jugadores
seven in
por
the
mí,
finals.
sí.
So
Veo
they're just
5
talking about the
semis,
format of the tournament.
Final veo 7 y si queréis cuartos veo 5 también sin problema. O sea, no
Es
sé.
que, ¿sabéis qué pasa? Que yo me juego un BO5 en el H4 en los torneos en cuartos de final y dura 3 horas y luego me
Claro.
juego aquí un BO3 y resulta que se acaban 20 minutos y digo, hostia, qué rápido.
Sí.
También es porque imagino que tenéis que empezar un poco tarde para acomodar también a los americanos y tal, ¿no? Y
Sí,
por eso
justo.
imagino que hay menos
Sí,
tiempo.
sí, es que
Y
si no
claro,
aquí
es
se
un
acaba
muchísimo miedo
muy
eso.
tarde.
La
Que
diferencia
se
de
hace
horarios
muy
es
tarde, o se
complicado.
hace muy tarde para España o empiezas muy pronto para los otros.
They're talking
o-
about the start
entonces,
times
hay que intentar
because
cuadrar los
it's
dos
two different
continentes,
regions,
cuesta un
right? You
montón.
have
Nos daba
the
mucho
Spanish
miedo,
players
mira,
from
todo
Europe
tres
and you have the
días
Latin
y
American
vamos
players in the
viendo.
Americas.
Pero bueno,
So they're just
viéndolo
talking about
fluido,
like
que ha ido, sí que es
how it was a little bit
por lo menos las
difficult
semis
for
se
them
pueden
to like
superar.
organize start time that was good for everyone. And that's also why they kind of rushed this bracket, why it was best of threes, because they didn't know how much time they would have and if players would be available. Like they're just they're discussing like a little bit more like of the details of the event itself.
Manteniendo así, pero el BO7 en la final creo que sí hubiera sido lindo.
Sí.
Okay.
Bueno, chicos, pues.
Bueno, nada, poco más.
Yeah, they're just lamenting, saying that they
Enhorabuena a
wish it was the
todos,
best of seven.
A
Yeah.
todos y
No,
gracias.
For next
Enhorabuena.
time. For next time.
Muchas gracias, tío.
Venga, chicos.
Muchas
Cuídate,
gracias.
Chao, chao.
GGs.
Adiós,
Chao.
adiós.
Ciao, papi, ciao.
Pues ahí está.
Muy bien.
Pues ahí está.
Pues nada.
Nada, se vuelve a poner castillos y muros en el
Now, I don't know if they're gonna have an interview with. I don't know if they're gonna have an interview with Juanito. It would be kind of weird. It'd be a little bit biased if they only interview VortiX. Like, obviously, a lot of the casters that are covering this event are from Spain. Like, the majority are from Spain, and only Enki is from Latino America. So it's a little bit biased. A lot of them are really close, and they're big fans of VortiX. So I'm sure that's part of why they got him on. We'll see if they get Juanito on as well. That I don't know.
Claro, vamos.
Hopefully they do.
Yo no sé si tendrá otras cuentas, pero tú miras la cuenta de Vortis, el historial, y tiene jugó 5 partidas hace un mes, 5 partidas
Sí, sí.
ahora y las anteriores son de hace 4 meses.
He was also speaking of the time between the group stage and the playoffs, just because there was like almost a month in between, and he was talking about how like that took a lot of momentum out of the players as well. I mean, he spoke about it, right? Like how in that period between the group stage and the playoffs, he was hardcore playing AoE4 because of that early access to the patch or whatever. So like that was also a big factor. So he was less practiced coming into the finals or coming into the playoffs, and again, like it felt a little bit short. So yeah, they were also saying that they're looking to improve it for the next one, for the next HSL.
Con mundiales y todo eso, tío, estáis muy a ese nivel, O sea, de verdad
Could go for 3 days. Yeah. I mean, day one was quite short. Day one was short.
Cortaron bastante el tiempo.
Es brutal, Es brutal, tío, lo que habéis hecho. O sea, no sois conscientes del nivel que habéis dado detrás de cámaras para gestionar jugadores y todo eso. Y bueno, de verdad que muchísimas gracias, que ha sido espectacular, No ha fallado nada.
They're talking about player cams.
A timing perfecto, decías y Tasca, hemos dicho que a las 10 va a ser la final y a las 10 va a empezar la final,
En efecto.
De verdad que muchísimas gracias, guapetores.
Gracias.
Bueno, al final hemos estado dando caña a los.
Yeah, the casters are just having like a wrap up of the event.
Ay.
Buah, es que ha salido todo encima del libro,
How everything ran smoothly here for the players, which I agree 100%. It was really smooth, really professional, very little downtime.
De final, que sé que vosotros lo habéis dicho mucho, pero yo me he quedado. Como Novak lo va diciendo toda la noche, yo me he quedado con el culo torcido entero. Novak ha dicho cosas peores, así que yo puedo decir eso.
No, perdona, yo no he dicho.
Éxtasis,
Yo no he dicho nada hoy, no he dicho nada, por favor.
No ha dicho nada.
Claro.
Jesus.
No, pero alucinado, o sea,
Sí que verá, Protosito, que antes que te lo cuenten he hecho un comentario, ¿vale? Que digo, ahora mismo, con el 2-2 de VortiX he dicho, Protosito tiene que estar con la minga en la mano ahora mismo.
No. Yo he dicho, además, se lo he dicho a Bond, le he dicho, menos mal que no tengo la cámara puesta hoy. Digo, porque yo traería loca a la gente. Yo estaba de pie y saltando todo el rato, tío.
¿En serio?
O sea,
Wow.
yo no suelo gritar. Yo contigo, Nova, que he casteado muchas más veces que con Bond. Sabes que yo suelo ser muy callado, te dejo hablar.
Eres analista.
Yo analizo.
Tú eres
I,
analista.
I'm lamenting now that I was low energy for the semis. They're talking about how hyped they were and how excited they were. Why I broke out laughing. There was one moment where we did have some downtime during the tournament where Protosito, who was another caster, where he went to the bathroom and it was going for a long time and everyone was just making fun of him. Everyone's just making fun of what was happening in the bathroom and what he was doing. So they were bromeando about that. But they're also talking about again how excited they were at the event itself. Again, I'm lamenting a little bit just because again I was very low energy for the semifinals. I was again passing out basically. It is 7 a.m. in the morning here, so but that's no excuse, right? Like I should have been a little bit more well rested. And the problem is that we casted Sparkling Tuna Cup just before this, so I went Sparkling Tuna Cup. I got 20 minutes sleep and then bam into this, and I was just very tired. Like right now I'm fine, but it took a little bit too long to get to this point where I'm like I'm happy with my finals cast, but my semifinals I was definitely out of it.
pero es que tanto nivel vosotros, como nivel jugadores, como nivel partidas y todo, o sea, es que no puedo pedir más, sinceramente. O sea, pido más y no me lo pueden dar porque es imposible. O sea, yo estoy alucinado con todo. O sea, ha sido gracias a todos, también a los jugadores por estar ahí, por aguantarnos, por todo.
Claro, sí.
Also, it sounds like they're not having an interview with SpeCial. They're wrapping up. So no interview with SpeCial, only with VortiX, which is understandable. As I mentioned, like the majority of the casters are from Spain. Like a lot of them are big fans of VortiX, and I am as well. Like I love that they got VortiX on. It's a little bit weird that they didn't get Juanito on. You know, it would have been nice to have heard from him a little bit. About his thoughts, about whether or not he's going to be coming back full time to StarCraft again, or if he's going to go on a break again, like what the plan is there.
SpeCial con que ha sido al final 400 viewers, ha sido que teníamos entre todos aquí.
Os he mandado el pantallazo de lo que a mí me ha salido como pico. Me parece que ha sido 408 en el reunido. Ha sido.
Ah, maravilloso.
Yo te digo en YouTube, chicos, un pico de 301 espectadores.
Qué locura.
Buah, pues suma.
Suma ya. Solo en YouTube.
Joder.
They're talking about peak viewership.
300 personas viendo esto.
Sí.
Nos vamos más o menos.
Pero es que
Pues muy
también era lo
grandes.
que era.
Pero bueno, repito,
Mira, que
por
no lo
YouTube
veo
Yo tenía 80 o 90, que nunca lo
vuelvo
tengo también.
a decir lo de antes, que un poco, o sea, no es por nada, pero ¿qué más da? O sea, al final
Sí.
esto lo hacemos porque
sí.
nos está gustando mucho el StarCraft, el contenido, los jugadores y, en fin, los espectadores. Está genial que venga mucha gente, pero que tampoco hay que agobiarse por los espectadores. A ver quién tiene, ¿sabes? Eso es, no sé.
Claro, pues eso lo he dicho, lo hemos hablado tú y yo. O sea, es que yo llega a estar mi padre y 2 amigos viéndome nada más, y yo estaba haciendo el mismo torneo igual y con la misma ilusión. Por
Exacto.
ver a los jugadores, por ver a los mejores, porque me apetece y porque me flipa este juego, tío. O sea, que como se hace así, salen bien las cosas. Si lo hiciéramos por pasta, por ver si sale un patrocinador, por ver si no sé qué, por si tal, es cuando empiezan a salir mal las cosas, tío. Como se hace con ganas y porque nos gusta, ya está.
Aparte, esto es infinito si lo hacemos así.
Sí,
¿Vale?
sí.
O sea, sí,
Bueno, chicos, me tengo que ir, ¿vale?
So they're talking about the crowdfunding effort that they had. Once again, like this tournament was crowdfunded by the community. They're talking about like the work that they put behind it, how passionate, how excited they were as well. They did just insinuate that they look forward to doing this again and maybe doing this like on a seasonal basis. It feels like the interest and the viewership is there, at least from the Spanish side of things, and even from the English side as well. I mean, for us, we're a little bit more disconnected, but they're looking forward to doing more of this, more regularly, and improving on it and iterating on it as well. So yeah, good things ahead of us when it comes to the Latin or the Hispanic community.
Mentalmente te estás diciendo, esta es la última partida de este torneo.
Ujú.
Y ese desarrollo, claro, nosotros es que, por ejemplo, aquí y yo, cuando estábamos en la DreamHack, en los regionales, era un mes de casteo.
Claro.
Cuando llegabas a la final, los regionales, era como, Dios, luego era un vacío de decir, no hay nada.
Sí.
¿Sabes? Es decir, ya termina hasta que empieza el siguiente torneo, ¿no? Entonces, claro, ahora es ese momento de bypass entre esta edición y la que se va a decir en la siguiente, porque al final recordamos que esto es un circuito profesional, que esto va a seguir, que esto ha sido simplemente la primera,
Sí.
pero que va a seguir para adelante. Lo que pasa es que es verdad que la primera quizás nos ha sorprendido incluso a nosotros mismos, ¿no? Por todo lo que se generó el primer día, lo de las donaciones y todo eso, y luego cómo ha transcurrido. Ya
Pero es sobre la
también
marcha, bro.
la fase de grupos y todo eso, sí, al final, pero ha sido muy bien.
Ujú.
Ha ido
de
muy
hecho,
bien.
Ha sido mejor.
They're comparing
¿cuándo creéis que sería el-
their experience casting and running this event to casting the regionals during EPT and during DreamHack for Latin America. They're just comparing like the amount of like consecutive days that they would do and the amount of matches that they would get. They're just comparing it and contrasting.
Empezaríamos en diciembre haciendo los playoffs, o sea, la fase de grupos, y enero sería más o menos un fin de enero.
Puede estar muy bien, puede estar muy
Por
bien.
cierto, yo para el próximo evento yo propongo que sea un fin de semana fase de grupos como hemos hecho ahora y al siguiente fin de semana playoff.
Sí, 100%. 100%.
Y volver a hacerlo como hemos co-casteado. Lo que pasa es que si queréis, para la próxima vez, en vez de estar siempre Protosito y yo de un lado y tal, podemos ir
Vamos
rotando.
intercambiando.
claro.
Sí. Así lo hacíamos en Copa América y funcionaba bien. Así es
Y
que
así también.
estoy de
pues,
acuerdo,
yo qué
bro. Sí, totalmente.
Me parece perfectísimo.
They want to condense it into like into a month where they live cast like groups on one weekend and then bam into playoffs for the next weekend. They want to, because the group stage was by replays this season. They want to do it live instead, and they're like they're discussing like how best to do that basically.
Algún tipo de stream para que la gente si quiere apoyar que apoyen.
Claro.
Y en fin, ya sabéis.
Todos juntos. Sí. Muy bien.
And they're in agreement. And he was saying that like that's how they did it for Copa América as well.
Sí, porque es la época de vacaciones y a lo mejor la gente tiene como más chance de verlo. Y así.
Quién sabe, a lo mejor en diciembre ya está el StarCraft 3.
Ah, sí.
Megacopium.
StarCraft 3. Muy bien.
Hablando de eso, no sé si lo sabéis, pero Blizzard y
Yo lo sé todo.
la
A ver.
esta.
I think they're done. Now they're just talking about other stuff. But yeah, with that, hope you all had a great time. Thank you all for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Don't think they're interested in a show match. They're wrapping up. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Sorry, I was engrossed in their conversation. Just catching up in the chat. Makes it easier. No, they were discussing about just condensing it a little bit. Live casting, which is always more exciting as well. Organizing players. Yeah, they were just discussing that. It's all good. They wanted to make an interview special, but he said he was a bit sick and went to bed, so they interviewed VortiX and said, "Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I missed that part of what they were saying. I missed that part. But thank you. Good to know. Good to know." Language barriers and slang are so real. It happens. I mean, it happens in between countries as well, for sure. 1 week in groups sounds like a lot. It does. But they want to do it because right now they have a lot of casters, and I think they want to do like multiple groups at once or something. It's maybe they want to make the groups a little bit leaner. I'm not too certain when it comes to the details. Not too certain.
De torneo en general.
Un gran honor y gusto haber trabajado con todos ustedes como en el pasado.
Lo mismo, Diego.
Sí.
Y ahora con Vero y con Pilo, que hicieron una logística perfecta, pues me voy con un buen sabor de boca, como siempre. Muchas gracias a todos. Los números que alcanzamos, lo que sea, eso nos impulsa a seguir trabajando todos en equipo. Gracias, chicos, de verdad. Un honor haber estado con ustedes una vez más.
And he's being very wholesome. He's letting them know. Thank you for letting me.
Y creo que eso es y me alegra un montón haber podido echar una mano en lo que he podido y oye, que ahí están los números, ahí están las partidas, chicos. Enhorabuena,
Muchísimas gracias, chicos. Sois todos muy grandes.
Yeah, they're wrapping up. So I guess we'll wrap up as well. So with that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this was the HSL, the Hispanic StarCraft League. This was their first time doing this, their first iteration. And it sounds like they have plans on running future events as well. I think they did mention something about the end of the year. To like wait until like post EWC, and of course just they don't want to make this like too consecutively either, but I do think they do plan on doing one towards the end of 2025 for a second edition of the HSL. So yeah, exciting stuff, exciting to hear. Do look forward to it. Of course we're going to be a part of it as well, as always. Here con los patos, we'll always be a part of that, as always. Get some sleep. The problem is that now I'm wide awake. But I think it's okay to stay awake a little bit longer. Our next broadcast is going to be the VortiTV Monday. VortiTV Monday is going to be at, I believe later on tonight, it's going to be at 8 p.m. KST, 9 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 14 hours. So we're going to be live in 14 hours time. So I do want to stay up a little bit longer to try to wake up in time for it. So that's going to be the plan. So again, 14 hours from now is the VortiTV Monday. That's going to be our next cast. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the Biggest Star Monday. That's going to be in like 28 hours. No, that's going to be in 27 hours from now. We're going to be live with the Biggest Star Monday. We have the Rex April Madness over the course of Tuesday and Thursday. We have Code for Giants Cup. We have Lil League Cup. We have KSL over the weekend, MSO, Firegrow Cup. We are live twice a day, every single day here this week. Again, we have plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We cast more than any other channel out there. So if you enjoy the content, consider following us here on Twitch, on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. We are live every single day. Again, all the content. We have the quantity and we have a little bit of the quality as well. So thank you so much. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna do some work. I'm gonna get some work done and stay up a little bit longer, and then get some sleep, and then wake up in time for the VortiTV Monday. That is the plan. Otherwise, oh right, I have to make sure I get this ready as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching and enjoy the outro video. It's so good, papi. It's so good. Until next time. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. See you next time. Until then, enjoy the outro video. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some VortiTV Monday action or for some other StarCraft. See you then. Ciao, papi. Ciao. See you then, papi. See you then.